How to Stop Overthinking, A Journey to Peace of Mind. It was one of those nights again. Ria lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, her mind racing with thoughts that seemed to have no end. Why did I say that today? Did I offend her? What if I never hear back about the job interview? Each question led to another, and soon enough she was spiraling into scenarios that hadn't even happened. Overthinking. It had become her constant companion, one she wished she could escape. Does this sound familiar to you? Overthinking is like a tangled web that wraps itself around your thoughts until you feel trapped. We've all been there, haven't we? One minute you're replaying a conversation, and the next, you're worrying about the future or regretting the past. But the good news is, there's a way out. You can stop overthinking. The key lies in understanding why it happens and how you can shift your mindset. Ready to break free from the loop of endless thoughts? Let's take this step by step. 1. Awareness is the first step. Imagine this. You're sitting at a cafe enjoying a cup of coffee, and suddenly your mind starts to wander. Did I lock the door before leaving the house? What if someone breaks in? And just like that, your peaceful moment is gone, and your heart starts to race. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? The very first step to stopping overthinking is recognizing when you're doing it. Awareness is everything. It's like catching yourself before you fall down a mental rabbit hole. The moment you feel your mind spiraling, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, am I overthinking this? Sometimes, simply acknowledging that you're overthinking can help break the cycle. 2. Ask yourself, is it worth it? Here's a hard truth. Most of the things we overthink about never actually happen. Isn't that crazy? We create these elaborate stories in our heads, filled with worst-case scenarios, and waste so much time worrying about things that don't even exist. Ria once worried for days about a presentation she had to give. She played out every possible disaster in her mind, tripping on stage, forgetting her lines, getting laughed at by the audience. But when the day came, none of it happened. In fact, her presentation went smoothly, and she received compliments afterward. The next time you catch yourself overthinking, ask, is this thought helping me, or is it just making me anxious? If it's the latter, let it go. It's not worth your peace of mind. 3. Shift your focus. Have you ever noticed that when you're busy, you don't have time to overthink? That's because your brain is occupied with something else. One of the most effective ways to stop overthinking is to shift your focus to something more productive. Ria found that when she immersed herself in a creative project, like painting or writing, her mind stopped racing. She was so focused on the task at hand that there was no room for unnecessary thoughts. So, find something that grabs your attention. Whether it's reading a book, working on a hobby, exercising, or even cleaning your room, redirect your mind to something that makes you feel engaged and present. 4. Challenge your thoughts. Overthinking often stems from irrational fears or doubts that have no basis in reality. But when you're in the thick of it, those thoughts feel so real, don't they? What if, instead of accepting those thoughts as facts, you challenge them? Let's say you're overthinking a text message you sent to a friend. You think, oh no, I said something stupid. They're probably upset with me. Stop for a second. Is there any real evidence that your friend is mad? Did they say anything to indicate that? Or is this just your mind playing tricks on you? Whenever you find yourself stuck in overthinking, ask, is this thought true? More often than not, you'll realize it's just your imagination running wild. 5. Embrace imperfection. Here's a secret. Nobody has it all figured out. We're all just doing our best, and sometimes things go wrong. But that's okay. Overthinking often comes from a fear of failure or making mistakes. But guess what? Mistakes are a part of life, and they help us grow. Ria used to be a perfectionist. Every little decision felt monumental, and she would spend hours agonizing over the smallest details. But once she realized that it's okay to make mistakes, she found a sense of freedom. She stopped stressing over every little thing and learned to embrace the imperfections of life. Remind yourself, it's okay to be human. You don't have to get everything right, and you don't need to have all the answers. 6. Practice mindfulness. One of the most powerful tools to combat overthinking is mindfulness. When you practice being present in the moment, you take control of your thoughts instead of letting them control you. Ria started incorporating mindfulness techniques into her daily routine. like deep breathing and meditation. Every morning, she would sit quietly for 5 minutes and focus on her breath. It was a simple practice, but it made a huge difference. Whenever she felt her thoughts starting to spiral, she'd take a moment to ground herself in the present. You can try this too. The next time you catch yourself overthinking, pause. Take a few slow, deep breaths and bring your attention to the present moment. What can you hear? What can you feel? Centering yourself this way can help pull you out of your mind and back into reality. 7. Talk it out. Sometimes, overthinking stems from bottling up feelings. We let our worries simmer inside and eventually they boil over. But you don't have to handle everything on your own. Talking to someone you trust can make a world of difference. Ria found solace in her best friend, Isha. Whenever her thoughts became too overwhelming, she'd call Isha and vent. Simply putting her worries into words helped them feel less heavy. And often, Aisha offered a perspective that Ria hadn't considered. Don't hesitate to reach out when you're feeling stuck in your thoughts. A fresh perspective can be exactly what you need to break free from the cycle. 8. Set a time limit. If you're someone who can't help but dwell on things, try setting a time limit for your overthinking. Sounds odd, right? But it works. Give yourself 5 or 10 minutes to think about whatever is on your mind. After that, move on. Ria would set a timer on her phone. When it went off, she'd stop, no matter what. It helped her manage her thoughts instead of letting them manage her. Conclusion. Overthinking doesn't have to control you. Overthinking is something we all deal with, but it doesn't have to dominate your life. By practicing mindfulness, shifting your focus, challenging your thoughts, and embracing imperfection, you can break free from its grip. Remember, it's okay to not have everything figured out, and it's okay to ask for help. Life is too short to spend it worrying about things that haven't happened yet. So, take a deep breath and let go of those heavy thoughts. You've got this.
That's the key to stopping overthinking. It's a journey, but every step counts. Start small, be patient with yourself, and remember, you're stronger than your thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey to peace of mind. If you enjoyed this story or found it helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the Motivational Path channel for more motivational stories and life-changing tips. I'd love to hear from you. What's your experience with overthinking? Do you have any tips or tricks to manage it? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback means the world to me and helps me create more content that speaks to you. Stay motivated, stay positive, and until next time, take care.